Welcome everybody. Welcome to episode number 2, Turn the Power On with your host, me, Dr. Christina. Today's message will be shorter than our first episode, but today's message is all going to be around this idea of courage above fear. I have this wonderful sign that I have in my office that was the inspiration for our podcast today. So all of the things that we're going to talk about today will be my interpretation, my experience of courage above fear. Now, this sign sits in my adjustment room in the south window of our healing and adjustment space, which for those of you that are new to me, I'd love to tell you a little bit more about me. My name's Dr. Christina Kraft. I'm a holistic family and athlete chiropractor here in Fargo, Moorhead. My practice is in Moorhead. I live in Fargo. I serve the entire Red River Valley on both sides of the river. I have patients from all over that come to see me here in Moorhead. The new office opened in November of 2020. Yes, I actually moved my practice, up-leveled and moved my practice during the pandemic, which was the best thing that I could have ever done, giving us more room to serve more people and also to have everybody feel lots more comfortable and have much more space for classrooms, for holistic workshops, for essential oils, all the things. But I primarily have this consult room, I have an adjustment room, and soon I will have my small animal dog adjustment room available for people too, and their pets. So I've been practicing since 2009. I first practiced as an associate in the state of Nebraska, animal chiropractic and human chiropractic for my first year there. Then I went into a larger, more peds-based practice after that in Wayne, Nebraska. And then I owned my own practice after that in Bismarck. And I did close that practice down in 2015 and took some time off and then restarted my practice here in Moorhead in 2018. So Kraft Chiropractic PLLC is now almost 4 years old. We'll celebrate 4 years in August. So that's pretty exciting. So for those of any of you that are new to who I am, that's a little bit more about me. Who I love to help the most. I think it's important to talk about that as I go into the courage above fear topic today. I think that this podcast that I've created for you, this Turn the Power On with Dr. Christina, is all about helping the spiritual conscious entrepreneur. This is to help you healers, you feelers, you seers, you doers, you chiropractors, you massage therapists, you Reiki masters, those of you that are out there that are also running a business in your gift, I am here to help you because I also am doing the very same thing, diving into more and more of my spiritual gifts, including working with the animals more recently, right? I did graduate from Options for Animals College of Chiropractic recently, and I'm working on all of my licensure, all of my paperwork, all of the things to soon be able to see your dogs and horses, guys. So please stay tuned. I do have a waiting list for dogs and horses right now, predominantly for dogs in the office. And so lots of fun things coming, lots of fun services, lots of workshops in the making. I have to let you guys know as well. I know that there's going to be a holistic animal health workshop of some kind. We're kind of stewing up behind the scenes sometime in May, so please stay tuned for that. That's kind of a side note. And also for those of you that know me or don't know me, I do bounce around some, but it's all coming back to our concept of courage above fear today. My goal for you is to share my wisdoms, my insights, my aha moments, my hot, my spicy, my juicy topics around what it's like to do the work behind the scenes for us healers and spiritual conscious entrepreneurs. If you have a business that's in the spiritual realm or the healing realm, or you want to have a business that's in the spiritual realm or healing realm, this is the place for you to land. And I would love to share more and more of my wisdom with you. And as I'm learning more about myself, I'm also going to, in the aha moments I see with animal and human interactions, I'm going to share some of those things with you right here with Turn the Power On with me, Dr. Christina. So right now, these recordings are going to be on Instagram, Facebook, and our YouTube channel. It's really important to subscribe to my YouTube channel because you're going to get more fun stuff down the road. You'll see me maybe adjusting a baby, adjusting a horse, adjusting a calf, adjusting a dog. Those are the types of things that are going to be more and more out there this year in 2022 as we are changing our services at Kraft Chiropractic here right now. I hope to also be changing content, kind of makes it a little bit more appropriate to kind of speak to the animal chiropractor, to speak to the healer, to speak to the chiropractor of the things that I'm going through, the challenges, the wins, the ahas, the big idea things, The wins are great to talk about, when we talk about testimonials through our patients, when we talk about what we're seeing, regularly coming into the practice, is just this. We're going to just dive right in. Ultimately, what I've really noticed over the last 2 years, you guys, is, and I'm not going to say that I've been immune to it either because I have also been experiencing this, is just overwhelming fear. Okay? And so that's really our topic about what I would like to talk about today. And courage above fear. This sign that I have, I purchased it probably at a decor store for the office. And I put it up in my office as soon as the pandemic came. And then it's been in the window ever since. And it's a reminder for me, okay? Because it is not easy as a spiritual conscious entrepreneur in the healing and health and wellness realm to do what we had to do over the last 2 years, okay? There's going to be more episodes of us breaking some of that down, like with other people, other chiropractors, other healers, other coaches and mentors and teachers, because I know that if you are listening to this and you had a business this last 2 years, you went through some challenges, right? And if you were in health and wellness, or if you were a holistic practitioner, you really went through some challenges, as I did. But I'm here to tell you that courage above fear is what won every time for me. And it's why I chose to move into this space, why I chose to go off to chiropractic school for animals, why I decided to go off to Health Freedom for Humanity events, why I decided to up-level and get some more training with my hands-on chiropractic skills for people last year. In the midst of all the chaos, we still had a choice to make. And we still have a choice to make. For everyone that's listening, I have the gift of discernment of what I know I need to do for myself versus what other people might think is best for me. And I'm also just very strongly, I have a strong voice. I have a strong intuition and I have a strong voice. And I didn't always have this, you guys, so it takes time to develop your voice, your truth, your intuition. We're going to have another conversation about that. I'm taking notes from my own talks for these because intuition is huge for us here at Kraft Chiropractic and teaching people how to use that, how to make a decision, use your intuition, and there's a little bit more guidance with that, but definitely something that I help my patients with. We'll do another episode on Turn the Power Onto Your Intuition. That will be really fun. But over the last 2 years, I'm just going to say it. Courage always won above fear. Did I ever get scared? Did I ever get frustrated? Did I ever get pissed off? Excuse my French. Did I ever get really pissed off over these last 2 months? Last 2 years? Absolutely. Absolutely. I have had to witness and see, observe, write letters for. I've had to give information for parents going to school board meetings and all the things that we're not even going to dive into today because it's all about courage over fear, courage above fear. When you are lit up with an idea or something that comes to you through maybe your higher power or what we can call the Holy Spirit, or you can call your angels, or you can call whatever you want to call it. Okay, I can call it God. When God asks me to do something, you better watch out because I'm going to go get it done because I have courage over fear. And this isn't a Christian talk here today. This is a spiritual conversation. This is a dive deeper into your inner self conversation today. Courage above fear for the health and wellness entrepreneur. Health and wellness entrepreneurs, including healers, lightworkers, okay, animal communicators, mediums, people that work with massage therapy and all the different things, body workers, all of you that I'm speaking to you right now, you have courage above fear, always. But there are times that fear can get to us. And that fear gets to us by somebody that leaves a bad review, or somebody that doesn't like our services, or somebody that just doesn't like us or like what we have to say. But I'll tell you this, the older you get, the more experience you get, the more self-work you do, the more taking daily action about this courage above fear. Courage above fear, even getting on this podcast, I was going to start it last fall. Here we are. It needed to simmer. Now it's ready. My messages are more clear and ready for you all that want to take the tidbits, the juicy little tidbits that I have for you here. So take what you can, leave the rest from what I'm saying today. Okay, the last 24 months has been, for some a nightmare, and for some of us has been the largest and most expansive amount of transformation in my personal life that I've ever experienced. Okay, so it's time for me to start to share with you the wins. And it's also time for me to share with you the truths about what I've been witnessing. And it's also time for me to share, this undoubted intuition that all of us have the ability to tap into, including our parents, our siblings, our family members, our partners, our children. We have to first be a beacon of light ourselves, take care of ourselves, and then we can share this information, share this ability to heal, which is chiropractic's premise for over 125 years. The power that made the body heals the body. We don't need a whole lot more, you guys, than what we just already have, right, given with us. And the premise of chiropractic is all around that. Well, there's many premises and philosophies around chiropractic. But the idea that the innate intelligence that's running through all of us, when you get a cut on your finger, what's really healing that? Well, yeah, it's your nervous system, it's your immune system, but truly it's something that we really can't see, and it's what we call the innate life force, innate intelligence. And I'm going to write down turning the power on to your innate intelligence. That's a whole nother episode, I'm sure, with me. I could just blow you guys out of the water with the things we'll talk about with that one. Innate intelligence is huge for me in my philosophy and the way that I live and the way that I get out of bed every morning, and then how I walk and talk and speak and act here in my practice, in these walls of my practice, serving families, now going to be serving animals with chiropractic care. Let's go back. Again, sparkly squirrel moments are okay, because when you get information coming in, it's okay to go off, and then for me, I keep the sign right next to me to keep me back on track. Courage above fear. What this means for me is, I have stage fright. I have public speaking anxiety, stage fright with singing, stage fright with performing, but I do it anyway. I've done musicals. I've done theater stuff. I've done singing at my grandparents' funerals. I've done so much in my background. My younger years was show choir and all those things where you just do it. You just, it's almost like you have to do it because God's like, you got to do it. Okay. Like you have to share what your gifts are, folks. Okay. Maybe you don't have to record it and put it out there on the internet. Maybe that's not what you need to do. But then what you need to be doing is sharing your gifts with your neighbor, with your friends. Okay, maybe it's helping somebody out behind the scenes where you're not taking that credit for it or whatever. Okay, taking somebody out for dinner. Okay, helping somebody out with some house items or some clothes that they're not not able to take care of all the things for themselves right now. That's courage above fear too. When you sense something's not right with somebody, or when you sense something's maybe a little off with a family member, it's okay if it doesn't leave you, give them a call, give them a text message, reach out. For those of you that are listening, especially women, you have intuition. We all have it. Okay, it's given to us immediately upon conception and birth. Okay, men, you have it too, but us women, our intuition, the motherly instinct, it's very, very real. And if you sense something's off with somebody, a family friend, a loved one, even from a distance, give them a call. Give them a call. Reach out. Ask them how they're doing. Okay? I'll share more about my intuition moments. I get a lot of that, you guys. I get a lot of messages that come in from people that aren't even in my, immediate, Fargo Moorhead. Okay? And when I feel more comfortable talking about those things, I will. And as you might know, I'm probably more comfortable talking about them now than I even was last fall, because so much up leveling, transformation, shifting, stepping into my full ability as a doctor, teacher, mentor, coach, facilitator, artist, which is chiropractic artist. It's what we're doing here all day long, is just helping people find their full potential. And you can do that with chiropractic and some other things, but chiropractic is really helpful for people to find their full potential, because when you take the interference off that nervous system, all of a sudden you can see better, feel better, smell better, taste better, sense better. You will sleep better. You will have courage over fear. So people will ask me, well, how do you do all the things you do, Dr. Kraft? I'm like, I get adjusted. And I get adjusted every week. If it's not every week, it's every 2. And I have for the last 20 years gotten adjusted. Okay, my brother gave me my first adjustment when I was a teenager. And after that, hook, line, sinker, this is what I'm going to do. This is what I meant to do. And I went off to my undergraduate school. And then I went right to Palmer College of Chiropractic, Davenport. And then after that, a lot of things have happened to challenge this courage above fear. But there's a part of me, probably since I've been a little girl, there's always been this tenacity, this I got to get it done. Okay, if I'm given a task, I'm going to do it. I'm at least going to try it, and I'm going to at least give it my all. And for those of you that knew me in high school that are listening to this, you know that. You knew that about me then, and you knew it's still there now. Those of you that needed encouragement, that knew me 20 years ago, and we don't talk very much anymore, you knew that 20 years ago. We never lose our personality, you guys, but we can get off. We can lose our way. Okay? I had to go through my rock bottoms to come back through healthier, stronger, happier, more at peace, more in love with myself, with who I am as a person, because I struggled with that for over a decade, if not longer. To come out, this courage above fear, to tell you the stories, tell you the hardships and other episodes with this Turn the Power On with me, Dr. Christina, okay? Personal stuff, relationship stuff, health and business stuff, relationships, I said that already, okay? Every day, in every way, we get better, one day at a time, okay? Courage above fear also includes me finding my sobriety 7 years ago. I announced yesterday, I had 7 years sobriety yesterday on social media, and I had just so many wonderful messages from you all, just in such support. So I thank you. It's not been easy at all to do the work. Behind the scenes, you might see that I have this practice and I have a great partner and we're all the things. But behind the scenes, the hardships, dealing with the things that I've had to do to just stay sober 7 years has not been easy, guys. And so those of you that are in recovery listening to this message today, one day at a time, keep the faith, ask for help, okay? I'm proof, you're proof, this can get done. Courage above fear. It is scarier than ever to pick up the phone call when you're in distress. Okay, you feel you're going to get judged. You feel like you're going to be, pushed away or whatever. Oh my gosh, yes. Even with a supportive family, you're still going to feel like that sometimes. Our families love us, okay? They want nothing but the best for us, and they're there for us. So anybody, I'm going to stop and do a little PSA right now. If you are struggling with addiction, recovery is available to you if you reach out for help. I am responsible. Okay, in this practice, if somebody comes into my practice and starts talking about struggling in that arena, I am responsible to get you to appropriate help. Okay? Confidential in our office here at Kraft Chiropractic. Okay, I am responsible for that as well. That also takes courage above fear to help people in recovery, because it's not easy. It's very hard sometimes to see people struggling so deeply But now I've done the work, and I am so grateful. Through the grace of God, one day at a time, I have been able to wake up every day feeling even better than the day before. And when something bad comes into my life, or some bad news, or loss of a loved one or something, you just are able to just take a moment, take a couple breaths, okay, and go, okay, what's the next best step that we need to do here? You have to sometimes get quiet and sit down with yourself and your God and meditate about what's your next best action. Because if it's just chaos, it's just chaos, you're going to get chaos coming more in. So it's really important to have a circle of friends. You've got some people who are really grounded and calm to turn to. This is for everybody right now, but I'm really kind of branching off on if you have a stressor come up, you need to have a good person to call. Maybe it's a priest, it's a counselor, it's a deacon, it's a best friend, it's a medical doctor, it's your chiropractor, it's somebody that's on your health team or in your circle or in your wellness and health circle, spiritual circle to lean on, because you are not meant to do this alone. I don't know where we ever thought that we were supposed to do this alone, because I thought so too. Now, I do work alone in my practice here. I'm a solo practitioner, but I have a whole bunch of people on my support team that help me with this, that help me with leveling up and doing the work behind the scenes. I have a huge circle of people that I do this to. Take it. Can you help me? Can you help me? Yes, and some of these people cost money, right? But it's all because I need to have that balance. Courage above fear to ask for a better accountant. Courage above fear to ask for a better lawyer. Courage above fear to reach out to your trusted friends that you really do trust about real estate investing, what to do for your home finishings, what to do with your business. Okay? We are not meant to do it alone. Okay? So even though I have a solo practice and I work alone right now, I know I will be hiring soon. It has to happen. Okay? Courage above fear. Once you just know what you know and you need, for instance, in your health and healing business, for instance, if we're just going to talk about that right now, the people will show up, but you have to take courage. The fear is always going to be there, you guys. You're never going to be ready. You're never going to be ready to start a podcast. You're never going to be ready to start a business. You're never going to be ready to go to animal chiropractic school. Like, I was terrified of picking up horse legs and feet. I'm doing it. Okay, so again, I'm the proof. You bust through your fear, okay? The Holy Spirit, the God of your understanding, knows that you have this thing within you that you have to get out. And many of you right now, I might make a couple of you upset, but you're working at jobs you hate, all right? Just because you need the paycheck and the benefits. And I'm here to tell you the biggest freedom I've ever had, and I've had my own businesses since 2012. I've had some dips in the way. I've had some low times in the way, but it's the best thing for me to be able to run my schedule, to be my own boss, to be my own lady boss, to help and serve people the way that I'm meant to serve and help people versus working for somebody else and them telling me what to do. So those of you that are constantly, in stress from your job and coming home angry and hateful, and I see you guys coming into my practice members, I can tell your job, especially if you went from days, now you're working nights in your job and your health just went and I'm going to sit and say, okay, I know that your nervous system, because I'm very sensitive to the nervous system of people and animals, your nervous system took a switch. What happened? Okay, a recent patient told me that they went to nights with their job. And I immediately had an overwhelming feeling of this was just not going to be something that this person should be doing long term. And I need to tell them, is it short term? Yes. Okay. Because we're not even going to talk about, maybe night shift people. I need to talk about that because there has been some huge aha moments over the last 12 years. So those of you that are nurses or not mechanics, but manufacturing, working night shifts, if you have chronic illness and you're working night shift, you probably are going to notice that you're not feeling very good. And so we'll talk more about that. That's more real health stuff that has to be talked about. That's also why I started this podcast, is because you need to hear what us chiropractors are witnessing and seeing in our patients. We don't prescribe drugs, we don't do injections, but we do see other things. When patients come into me with high blood pressure and they're on 3 high blood pressure medications, my question is why? Why are we on 3? Okay, so we have that conversation with the primary. We work together. We work together with medical doctors. We aren't fully separate. You don't have to have referrals to see chiropractic. However, we find some things that maybe some primary doctors miss. Okay? It happens all the time. Nothing against medical doctors, okay? Because we are here to help you in the whole scheme. Not scheme, that doesn't sound quite right. But the whole wheel of your health. You need to have a primary medical doctor for certain things. You need to have a primary chiropractor. I'm the primary chiropractor for most of my patients. Some of them have 2 or 3 chiropractors. I'm the primary one for many. Okay, and then we have a naturopathic doctor, maybe a massage therapist. Maybe they have a therapist. Okay, maybe they have a business coach. You start to put together who you need in your circle. It's not just your friends and family. We're talking about the people that make you up level, including mentors, bankers, lawyers, accountants, okay? People to keep you accountable. I've needed that, okay? I get terrified around tax season. I don't know about you all, but But you know what? I don't have to be perfect at it. She asks me for what I need. I send it to her in an email, a private email. All of my stuff gets sent to her. I drop a little envelope off. And she takes care of the rest because that's her job. It's not my job to be a great accountant. My job is to be a great chiropractor, doctor, mentor, healer for my patients in my community. That's my job. So again, another episode, entrepreneurs that are in health and healing, probably, just who's on your team. Who's in your circle, including those professionals, including your friends and family, and who's not in that circle, because you need to have a very clear difference of who's in your circle and who's not. Okay? There's certain people who don't need to know about your business stuff, and there are certain people that do. Because if you are up-leveling in your health and wellness business, or you are a spiritual conscious entrepreneur, leveling up in your business or bought a business or gonna buy a business, or you're coming out of school and you're ready to rock, it's very important, because I learned the hard way. Not everybody's ready to help you, and they're not for you. You have to be choosy, be picky, and be choosy with who you allow in to your business world, even some of your personal stuff too. Okay. Eventually, courage over fear. You're more open to share some of those things where they're appropriate, and it's important for people to know your values. So, let's just say you're going to start working with a mentor or a coach, a business coach. Do their consult and find out that they have the values that you have. If they don't, they're going to just kind of steer you in the wrong direction, and then you're going to be paying a lot of money for somebody that doesn't share your values. So find a coach or mentor in your business or in your business industry, or if you're looking for a spiritually conscious entrepreneur that's running some online coaching, get their consult and find out if they have some of those basic values, which could be something like, do they believe that the power that made the body heals the body? For me, if a coach that I was going to hire didn't believe that, we probably wouldn't be working together. Okay. Spiritually conscious entrepreneurs. So people that are, for me, it's probably, if I were to hire somebody that's in my mentorship, with intuition-based things, I probably would definitely want to hire a sober coach. A coach that has some sobriety themselves, that has also up-leveled their own spiritual gifts during their hard work behind the scenes. So I have this very clear, I have a very clear person that I would like to attract right now as far as a mentor or business coach. That's not necessarily chiropractic related, but again, courage over fear is kind of sitting with yourself and, what is it that you really want? Remember that scene in The Notebook where Noah is like, she's going to leave and he slams a car door and he goes, "What do you want?" Remember? And it's not that simple. She goes, "What do you want?" he says. And it's very clear what she wants. She wants to be with Noah, right? If you haven't seen The Notebook, I'm sorry if I'm ruining the movie right now. It's very clear what she wants. That's intuition. But she's worried about her fiance and mom and dad and all these things, right? I felt it the very first time I watched that movie. That's exactly how I felt. And I have been there. Courage above fear. When you have to take the leap and you don't have a freaking clue where you're going, that's probably where you got to go. It can be really scary for family and friends to see what you're up to, and then all of a sudden they're like, what is she doing? I've had that, but they know that I'm doing it based on what's based on intuition, based on some logic too, but there really is that gut feeling. When I make a decision, it's like, yes, but I'm also highly, highly gifted with discernment, okay? Discernment of taking a moment and just, if I'm given two options, discernment. And I'm not an expert in discernment. In fact, I used to be very terrible at it. So in order to get really great at something, you first got to be really what? Poor at something. Okay? I remember when I first started adjusting people, you got to be kind of bad at it until all of a sudden one day you get it. And then you just build and build and build and build and build on your skill from there. Okay? Same thing with lifting up horses' legs. When I have to pick up a horse's legs, you guys, I can't wait for you to see some more videos. But, I'm not a farrier. I don't even own horses. Okay, I've been around them my whole life, never owned them, just have always been around other people's horses. And when you come to them in service, they, here we go. It takes time. It takes patience. It takes skill. It takes art. It takes flow. Chiropractors that are listening, your skill is only yours. You could go to a seminar, but when you come home and mix it with you, it's you mixing with that technique. You make the technique. Same for me. I come home from a seminar and I make it my own. Though I still take the basic protocol, but I put my spin on it. And that's the beautiful thing about being a healer. In a healing profession like chiropractic, you, chiropractor, you, massage therapist, or you, coach, mentor, healer, you make your business unique, and people need you. People need you, and people need your services, and they need to hear your voice, and they need to know that you have courage above fear written all over you. Courage above fear. Even if you're scared, you got to do it anyway. That's kind of like me even just talking on these podcasts. Okay? These are also helpful for me as a spiritual conscious entrepreneur. I'm going to go back and see these years down the road and go, wow, look at how much you grew through that time post-pandemic. Okay? During it, but now sharing with you all after it and where we're going. Where we're going as a collective consciousness of higher vibrational healers and light workers and helpers and seers and doers and workers. Like, it's time to link arms and let's go. Let's go. We're no longer in competition with other chiropractors anymore. If we're still playing competition game of what they're doing and what they're charging and what this one's doing, we don't have time for that anymore. In fact, all of my cat referrals that come to me, I'm sending them to another certified animal chiropractor, Dr. Sam Duffield, because I know it's important for me to stay in my lane. And if I get too busy, then what happens? You can get burnout. And then what happens? Then you have to go home and sleep. We can't do that. So you have to do this. Refer. If I can't help somebody, we're going to find somebody that can. That's another gift that I have. It's called the gift of connection. I'm a connector. Okay? I know so many of you that are watching this that have the gift of connection. If that's the only thing that you feel that if that's what really lights you up, you love helping other people find other people, then you need to start a business on the side that helps people do that. Okay? This is the thing about being a visionary, being an innovator. Okay? I can have conversations about this stuff with people all the time. Okay? And what's cool about when I start getting guests on Turn the Power On with Dr. Christina, what will be really great is the juicy conversation that happens live. We'll record right here with the Blue Yeti right in front of us in the phone. Seriously, when you start getting like two really spiritual conscious people kind of talking with each other under, you can get like ideas can actually happen right there. How do you think songs get written? They collaborate with somebody and it gets done, these celebrities that write music. or a writer or something, you start to collaborate and brainstorm or master class with other people, all of a sudden you are all just lit up. And that's kind of what's been happening for me. I've been a lot more collaboration, a lot more group work, a lot more group think, a lot more master class, a lot more volunteer-based things also that I'm a part of that have up-leveled this idea of courage above fear. Coaching from my doTERRA business, mentorship in my animal chiropractic realm, mentorship in chiropractic. I have people that have seen my potential and lift that up. And I don't know about you guys, but that's what we need more of. We need more encouragers. We don't need any more trolls. Okay? We don't need any more people leaving us bad reviews. Okay, for those of you that do that, if you have the time to do that and leave businesses that are struggling or had struggled in the pandemic, bad reviews, you've got to find something else to do. All right? Karma really comes back and grabs us. So give people some kindness. Give some people some patience. Okay? Give people the benefit of the doubt that they're doing their best. And if they're really not doing their best, I guess leave the bad review. All right, courage above fear means to me, as we're going to wrap up this topic today, I have a lot of frustrations. I have a lot of wins and joys and ahas that I'm going to continue to share in these episodes. But courage above fear, before I leave you guys today, is just this. When you feel like you don't want to do something, pause, take a few breaths, ask your higher self if it's right for you or not. If it's not, but it's something you really want, then you might have to find the courage to go and get it. Making the phone call to build the business, asking for help, okay, that kind of stuff. Now, if it's really not for you, you should know that discernment as well. And we'll talk more about discernment and intuition and, using your gut or using your emotions as a guide and compass to make decisions. Because I think a lot of business owners, we make decisions not using our intuition, and I have found that it's the best for me is to use my intuition and my gut and my truth and my values and my voice, discernment, self-love, all of these things. I make a decision, okay, when it comes to my business or when it comes to my family, when it comes to my friends, when it comes to things that I'm a part of, okay? So with that being said today, courage above fear, if you could take 2 things with you today, find the things that you love to do and focus there. If you're looking to get away from a job that you don't love right now, what kind of job, what kind of business you would want to start? Do you need to go back to school? Do you not need to go back to school? Is there a product or a service? Or is there something you want to be creating, like Etsy style creating? Is there a podcast you want to start? Is there a book you want to write? Start to think about that first, okay? Those are the types of things we're talking about. Courage above fear. And then the second thing, what do you want? Okay, that's kind of the first thing. The second thing is you're never going to be ready. I know that for a fact. So you're never going to be ready. So you have to have courage over fear. You just begin. You just begin. Tiny little, last week we talked about crawl, walk, run. You just reach out, find a mentor, reach out to somebody that's already doing what you want to do or are doing already and ask for help. And no questions for me are silly questions. I get a lot of silly questions, right? But when it comes to supporting another business person, I bet you I've been through it all. Okay, I've owned my own businesses since 2012. So I bet you I could learn just as much from you as you would learn from me. Again, this has been so great. I'm so grateful that I was able to have the time to get caught up here. Thanks for waiting. I was trying to get one done for Monday, but here we are, March 16th. I'm going to get this posted over to our YouTube channel, Instagram, and Facebook shortly. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. We'll have more content on healing and chiro and animal chiro this year. Dr. Christina Kraft on YouTube. drchristinacraft.com is my website. If you or your family are suffering with things like headaches, general health issues, body aches, digestive issues, I would love, love, love to be able to check you. I check newborns to the elderly. You can schedule with me at drchristinacraft.com or you can call the office 218-789-1811. Stay tuned for more episodes. Thank you so much for being with me here today. And remember, the biggest quote / piece of advice that I'm going to give you today, no matter where you are in your life right now, is courage above fear. So take the next best step action to get what you want in your life And you just continue to repeat that. So one day at a time, courage above fear. You guys have been awesome. Thank you for being here. Join me next week for Turn the Power On with Dr. Christina. Have a great day.